My name is Kasia and I'm a danceaholic. In today's video, I'd like to warn you, do not take up dance classes because you might get addicted as I did. It all starts very innocently. Take up a new hobby, they say it's good for you. So you go to your very first bachata, salsa or zouk class. And of course you enjoy it because it's dancing, the most wonderful thing in the world. There are people, there is music, there are endorphins bubbling in your head. So you have the time of your life. And of course, you want to repeat it. So you go to another class. Practicing twice a week is not enough. It's not enough to make progress and because you want to be better and better. So you start going 3 times a week, perhaps 4 times a week. Then they say you need to put your skills into practice. So you go to your very first social, usually at the weekend. So you go on Saturday or on Friday, but then you think perhaps I could practice even more. And you start attending another social, perhaps midweek, maybe on Wednesday. And then, well, they say you need to take some private lessons in order to make real progress. What really counts is personalized feedback. So you pay 25 times what you would pay for a group class, but you go to a private lesson and another one because they are cheaper if you buy the whole package. And musicality, we mustn't forget about musicality. So you start taking musicality classes to improve it because it's crucial. And then there are workshops at the weekends, so you attend them. There are festivals which take up 3 or 4 days with parties every single day. So one day you realize that the whole your world revolves around dancing. Your world is basically dancing. All your friends are dance partners, dance friends, everything. Your identity becomes dancing. So dancing basically starts to define your life. I'm not criticizing anyone. I've been there, I've done that, I bought the t-shirt. So in today's video, I'd like to talk about the darker side of social dancing, namely about the dance addiction. I'd like to stress, I wouldn't like to criticize anybody. I love dancing. I'm aware of what amazing things it has brought into my life. I've met some incredible people through it, and social dancing gives us a lot. It gives us the validation, belonging, dopamine, physical touch, endorphins. But for many people, it can become much more. And I believe, especially if we are going through some life crisis, some stressful situation, loneliness, some breakups, transitions, dancing can become much more than just a hobby. So I know quite a few people who go to dance socials a couple of times a week. Plus, they go to classes every single day. And, I've been there, I've done it. I've had this really hyped period in my life when I was completely freaked out about salsa. So I know it firsthand and I know how addictive the whole word is. But I know that what can happen is that, for instance, if you get injured and you stop dancing for a while, there comes some reality check. You just realize that what is around you is like one big emptiness and there's nothing left. And on the one hand, dancing has this wonderful social aspect that you meet so many people, you are surrounded by them, it is great. But, well, sometimes it makes me think how deep really these relations are. Doesn't it give us a sort of illusion of being connected with people, while in fact it's incredibly superficial? It's a bit like being on social media. We have the friends, we have the connections, but in reality we are all alone. And sometimes it seems to me that dancing is a bit like that. I've attended classes with some people for a number of years and I've talked to them, I've engaged in some conversations and I don't know even their names. So sometimes it is that superficial and it gives us only the illusion of deep connection. I remember somebody also said that dancing may be a sort of escapism, like this temptation to run away from our tough difficult situations which we all face in our life into this colorful Disneyland, this great world of dance, fun, and glitter. So it may be very, very tempting. So I'm sure I've done it in my life, that instead of maybe facing the issues in my life, I simply danced more. So somebody once said that dancing can be very therapeutic, but it is not therapy. So now I'm just trying to adopt this attitude of thinking what kind of psychological needs are fulfilled by dancing, and perhaps try to realize them as well in other areas in my life, and maybe balance it more with the contact with friends who do not dance, with being outside, reading books, doing something completely different. And of course, there is the issue of health. So dancing is supposed to be very healthy, good for you, and it is. And I'm sure it is better just to move and do something active after 8-hour day at work. But still, when we overdo it, when we dance every single day for a couple of hours, when we do not get enough sleep, it's another story. That all those late night parties are, I think in the long run, they are ruining our health. Then it's not really that healthy. And also finances, this is another area. Like, I started counting how much I spent on my hobby last year, and it really freaked me out. So these are all signs of addiction, aren't they? We're ruining our health and finances. Right. And by all means, this issue isn't specific only to dancing. It's the same if you run marathons, I don't know, go to the gym, or do any other super involving hobby, that suddenly you may realize that instead of just adding value to your life, it's becoming your whole identity. So it's not the fault of dancing by any means. So I would really like to ask you what you think. Do you also observe this phenomenon around you, or maybe in yourselves? I certainly observe it in myself. So please let me know in the comments what you think. So you are more than welcome to comment, to subscribe, to share your thoughts, and see you soon on the dance floor. Thank you. Bye bye.